Okay, if you remember what coterminal angles are any angles with the same terminal side. So when you graph them, they have the same ending ray, so they all start obviously in standard position on the positive x-axis, but if they have the same ending point, we call them coterminal. Remember, we find these by simply adding or subtracting 360 degrees or adding and subtracting 2 pi, depending if we're talking radians or degrees. So if you graph them, they should be in the same spot, and you can check it once you use this rule. So if we look for this first example, this is in degrees, obviously, 80 degrees. So if I were to plot this, an 80-degree angle in standard position, recall, is going to start here. It always starts here. And it's going to rotate to this position. So if I'd like to add 360 to this, 80 plus 360 is going to be 440. So a 440-degree angle would start here, it would go around a whole 360, and then it would stop here. So that would be a 440-degree angle. I can also, of course, take 80 and I can subtract 360, and you can add or subtract as many times as you need to. So 80 minus 360 is obviously going to be negative 280. So 280 will go this way, and it will go backwards 280 degrees until we get to this ray. So adding and subtracting 360 is one way you can turn and find coterminal angles. For radians, same idea. 7 pi over 9. Now 7 pi over 9, you could turn it to degrees, but I don't need to find coterminal angles, because I can simply subtract 2 pi. Now 7/9, if I want to have common denominators here, 7 pi over 9 minus 18 pi over 9. So 7 pi minus 18 pi over 9 is simply going to be negative 11 pi over 9. And then I can do the same thing if I'm adding. I could just take my 7 pi over 9 and I can add 18 pi over 9. It's really adding 2 pi, but we know we have to get common denominators again. So 7 and 18 is going to be 25 pi over 9. So those are my two coterminal angles, one negative, one positive in radians, and then the previous one in degrees. If I did want to graph 7 pi over 9 in these, I'd probably have to turn them degrees because it's not a great idea of what they look like. But I do know 7 pi over 9 would be somewhere in quadrant 2.